Ladies and gentlemen, I have been to the Great Wall of China. I have seen the pyramids of Egypt. I even witnessed a grown man satisfy a camel. But never in all my years as a sportscaster have I witnessed something as improbable, as impossible as what we've witnessed here today. It's Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond.
I don't need to teach you to be more like me. I need to teach you to be more like you.
Longtime listener and huge fan.
Lou, I am tremendous.
And the more I unplug from technology and people, the more I can serve people with technology.
What you're standing for with connection, I think it's the key to everything.
You're just an amazing breath of fresh air for sure.
Lou, you're a diamond in the rough, my man.
Because for me, if I'm not living high energy, I'm surviving and I want to be thriving.
Get ready to thrive loud with Lou Diamond.
I love it.
Hey, Thrive Loud listeners, Lou Diamond here. In late 2020, I had the great fortune of sharing the virtual stage with Ohio State University football legend Braxton Miller. Braxton spoke at a specific event, and while he was presenting, it kind of morphed into a Thrive Loud interview, for lack of a better term. So we captured it. You'll get a chance to actually hear Braxton's story, the impressive things he's had to overcome at the very early age in his life, all the way up to a real challenging situation when he got to Ohio State University and how he faced adversity and moved onward and upward. So I think you'll like that, and it fits in really well. And it fits in really well because the college football playoffs comes to a culmination this Monday night. So we thought this was a timely time to play this episode. So sit back and enjoy Braxton Miller here on Thrive Loud.
And so I'm going to start from my childhood. So, yeah, I'm 28 years old. My birthday this past November 30th, Sagittarius. I'm from Springfield, Ohio, small town. I don't know what the population is, but it's close to Dayton. It's in between Dayton and Columbus, about like 45 minutes away from Columbus. I'm actually in my house in Columbus, Ohio right now. So, childhood where I grew up. So I got one older brother, one older sister. I'm the youngest of the three. So I feel like growing up in Springfield molded me to the person I am today. And only thing that's going on in Springfield is sports, a whole bunch of, don't want to say, but, drug dealing, a lot of shooting, a lot of violence, a lot of stuff where I grew up from. And I had good parents, so we, it wasn't the riches of the riches of the family in Springfield, but I had a good childhood life, they made it happen. All means met. So yeah, having an older brother, man, molded me into the person I am today. Having a father in my life molded me into the person as well. That's one of my motivation is to this day. My dad, he fought through 2 heart surgeries to maybe even fight through my injury on my right shoulder. So praise all to him. He's quarantined right now. He don't want to be around nobody. I ain't seen him about like 4 months, 3.5, 4 months, because with his heart and all that stuff condition, you can't be around him. So I get it. I travel a lot. I do a lot of business stuff. I be around kids. So that's my motivation. That's my God that taught me everything I know today, and the person I'm molded into today as a father and as a kid. So growing up in Springfield, man, that's all you knew. That's all I knew is sports, going to school, good grades, understanding that you got to get out of this bad situation. And, I was on the south side of Springfield, Monaco Drive, where, I can walk to school, elementary school, grew up in a nice neighborhood. And the things that taught me to be the person I am today was fight for everything that I got today. And that's what my older brother taught, and he was in sports. He wasn't big into like sports like I was. Like I was actually like God gifted and God given from my parents. And I can't take that away from God because, the talent that he blessed me with, I took forward, and I definitely molded myself into the person I am today. And I put the work in to apply the pressure to be the household name in Ohio and in the nation too as well. So, my first love was playing football. That's what my dad put in my hand. It was a pigskin football and playing basketball as well too. But for some reason, football was a different type of love than basketball. And the way football was that I can just go out there and just eliminate anybody that I want to. So I play offense and defense. As y'all know, I play quarterback and wide receiver, but I did play defense. I don't know anybody know about football. I know there's a lot of ladies in here as well. I was built different, man. It's just me and John Leslie that really made it out of Springfield, where I'm from. And I made it out of sports, he made it out of music. And for some reason, football was the love. And it brought me everything I got today, opportunity to talk to you guys today, mid energy, and be the person I am today is a household name. So I love it. So football, man. So I started playing football when I was 5 years old, which my son did not play tackle football. I was, it was a generation thing. So it was like, I played when I was 5, and I had the focus and the determination and the built behind it to play tackle football, and I played with my brother. So he's like 6 years older than me. So I played with him all my life. So you understand, like, I'm advanced because I got an older brother that's 6 years older. So I played with all his friends growing up. When I was 5, they don't tackle me, but they let me do certain things that other kids probably won't experience because he's older, he got older friends, and I'm young playing with older guys. So playing when I was 5 years old, I played 2 years up, which was a mistake. Was a big far mistake for me. But it molded me to be a tough kid, be a tough kid and understand it take toughness to play this game of sport, and that's what happened. I played 2 years up my first year. And that's what made me not want to play my son's tackle football right now. But I was playing 5, I was playing 7-year-olds. So playing with 7-year-olds taught me a lot. Not to ever do it again, and taught me a lot of toughness. And it built me into the person that I couldn't be broke when I'm playing against my own age group. So playing that year with 7-year-olds, I got hurt a lot. I wasn't the best kid out there because, playing with 7-year-olds. So I wasn't the best kid, but I had skills, and that's why it was difficult for me to understand I'm playing with 2 years kids like 2 years older than me. And to understand that I had a determination and the focus to do that, even the desire to do that was kind of tough for me. So let's scratch that out the way. It taught me a lot of toughness, taught me not to do it again, and taught me to be the person I am today, to build skin. And so next year, I played with the kids, my age group, and understanding that I had talent. So the next year, we had a lot of talent in the area, play against Centerville, all the other teams in the Dayton area. But understand that I played 2 years up the first year and playing with my brother, when I was young. I was probably the best kid in the district. And what helped me to get to that point was playing with older kids. So it was unbelievable, man, because when I was playing with my older kids, they used to try to check my birth certificate, because I was so advanced in a way that playing with 2 years older than me was so difficult for me. And it taught me a lot of adversity at a young age when I was 5, and I wanted to quit. I was crying, all that stuff, but it was difficult to even pursue football still. But understand, I was growing up in a small town with nothing to ever give other than sports and all that other stuff I told you about. But it was so difficult. I mean, the next year I toughened up, and I was so tough out there. Man, I was the best kid in the district. So leading forward to that, I was the best kid in that area, and I bought a lot of awards. We won a championship and all that stuff. So yeah, that was a childhood of sports right there. Then growing up into middle school, academics wasn't that good. I was at the worst school in the city on the south side, and having a brother and having my dad mold me into the person not to. What was that?
They're asking some question. It's actually a good one for here. Was it your choice to play with older kids or someone else's?
Man, I was so, my brother, he was 6 years older than me. So I felt like I had the advantage to play with older kids and playing with my own only age. So I think playing with older kids would help me in the long run. I mean, I was different, man. God had his hand on me when I was young. So, I didn't know too much about other things than that, but he did lead me to the light to where I had the choice to like, yeah, I play with older kids. My brother's 6 years older than me. So my dad was like, hey, man, if you want to, you can. It's going to help you out in the long run. So that's what happened. And that was a good question because it was my choice, not my dad. My dad didn't force me into anything. So my dad was not even hard on me at all. He just like, hey, man, this is going to make you a lot of money. You know, I don't got a lot of money, but if you want to make it out of the city, either you want to be a businessman, play sports, and the fastest way to get up out of here is sports, music, or get a scholarship to college. So I chose sports. So, yeah, that was a good question.
Yeah, so moving into high school and middle school and the tough parts to bring us back from there, because obviously the academics wasn't so good, and obviously sports your focus.
Yeah, the academics wasn't good at all, man. And the main focus was just playing sports and getting to high school, getting a scholarship. So I played in Hayward Middle School, which I was good in both sports. My goodness. So 7th grade, I played at Hayward, and that was my only age group. You know, in middle school, you can't play up. So 7th grade, we won the championship. Let me tell y'all a funny story. So this is we probably the poorest team out of all the teams that we played. You know, we playing Centerville's, Ketterins. They are, you know what I mean? They got good structure. We just pretty much rough kids out of the area that want to make it out and playing for something. You know, we got a lot of heart, a lot of stuff to bring out on the field. So we playing against Centerville. That's probably the best team in the area. You know, best team, best organization. They get like 100+ kids every year. Same cleats, same uniforms, same everything, coming full bus, you know, everything. They come into our hometown. So we kids, you know, we all got mismatched cleats on, you know. I mean, not mismatched. Everybody got the same, matching cleats, but everybody got different cleats and all that stuff. Uniforms wasn't as good as Centerville's and all that stuff. But we probably the best athletic organization in the whole G-Walk. So they come in town, you know, like the president, and they doing their thing, man. They got warm-ups on command, whistle, all that stuff. We just over here sitting down like, man, what the hell going on, man? These kids look very well trained, you know? So we wasn't nervous. We just went. I mean, my team, we only had like 40 kids, you know, 40 kids. All the other kids is in like detention and all type of like, you know, situations, you know, growing up with no parents, you know, growing up with grandmas and all that stuff. So not too many kids had the experience that we had. So you don't have like 40 kids to their 100. So we had you know, I was the leader of the squad. So, you know, I played both ways. I had another kid that I played with. That's my best friend still to this day. He went to Alabama. His name is Trey DePriest. I want to look him up. We grew up in the same area, same hometown, same elementary, everything. So, you know, we got enough confidence to understand, like, yo, we've been playing these kids since we was in Pee Wee. So they coming in here to our hometown and structured up like they want to, you know, dominate everything. So he was a linebacker. I was the safety. And they doing a warm-ups. You know how you do it. You blow the whistle. We ain't doing none of that. We just stretching like normal kids. You know what I mean? Like, let's get the game going. So some of the kids that we played with, they was kind of intimidated because they had like, I don't know if y'all seen the Little Giants, but they had the Cowboys helmet, all that luxury stuff. So first play, man. My boy Trey DePriest, he's a linebacker. He's built different. They used to check his birth certificate as well because he was so big and like fast, athletic. He used to run the ball, linebacker, so he hit super hard. I'm playing safety. He play linebacker. First play is a pitch to the left. He comes in, destroy the fullback. Fullback is laid out. I'm coming right behind off a blitz. Tore the running back up. The game shift right there. He fumbled. We got the ball. We scored. It was like 40-0. So, you know what I mean? It's just like the fear of not having what they have and understanding like the difficult to understand like, yo, even though they got 100+, we got 40. It's just like 300. I don't know if y'all seen that movie, but it's just like your soldiers against their soldiers. And you just got to understand like the way that you're built is not the way they're built. So you got to understand like maybe it might be difficult to get to the lines to see what type of players that's going to match up with their players, but deep down inside me, you got to believe in yourself. And that's what we did. You had a faith in everything.
Braxton, you took it from growing up with this environment and learning those lessons very early on. And you went to the top program in the country at college.
Yep.
I think what I know our team wants to hear about, because that's, they saw the highlights from this. First, when you got to that top elite level at the program, what that was like from someone that's always facing newer challenges. And then you hit your own challenge after a few years being there.
Getting to Ohio State and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was getting to that story. I didn't know how to, I was getting to childhood so 7th grade, middle school. Let me get to the point, then y'all gonna understand.
You'll build us up. I got you. I want you to see where you're gonna get to.
Yeah, so 7th grade, I'm humble, man. That's why I don't like really doing. I like other people doing it for me, but I was the best kid in the state, 7th grade. So my dad was so advanced in the things that he wanted me to get done. He took me to Ohio State in 7th grade. So they got a camp called Senior Day. It's nothing but seniors all around. All around Ohio and high school that want to get recruited by different colleges. All different colleges come out there and check out the best kids in the state. So I was in 7th grade. My dad took me out there just to, see how I match up. I had a 4.5 40, in 7th grade. So that's very rare. You know what I mean? So most kids that coming out of high school only runs a 4.5 or 4.6 or 4.7. So I was running 4.5. My dad wanted to take me up there to see how I matched up against seniors. So it's a senior day at Ohio State. Big time. All the colleges out of the country coming out there to Ohio State to see kids run a 40, agility drill, passing, running, covering, lifting, all that stuff. So I'm out there doing the same thing as nobody even know who I am, not knowing what my age group is. And I'm matching up with all these high school seniors that's going out to college. So Coach Tressel, he knows who's in senior, he knows that stuff. So he like, who's this young kid that's like out here destroying everybody, that's out there just running 4.5. I ran a 4.5 40 at Ohio State as well. And the agility drills was just as good as the seniors. He said, who is this kid from Springfield, Ohio? And they pointed to me and they pointed to my dad. So he talked to my dad. I'm just out there. I don't even care. I'm just out there competing, just having fun. This is what I love to do. So he came and talked to my dad, like, man, how old is your son? He's like, he's only in 7th grade. He said, okay, we're going to offer this. He told my dad that the same day he's going to offer this kid when he comes to high school after this freshman year. And that's what Coach Tress did. He offered me after my first year in high school, after my first year, and I played. So let me rewind. He told my dad that. So I finished off 8th grade, did my thing. Then going into high school, Springfield, Ohio, where I grew up at, the high school academics was bad, the sports was bad. So one year before my freshman year, it was the summer workouts and working out with the high schoolers and getting the feel for everything, the training, the speed of the game and the plays and all that stuff. It was like 7-on-7. So I went out there one time and I didn't get no reps at quarterback or no reps at safety when I played. And I asked the coach, like, hey, is there a problem with me even trying to get some snaps at quarterback or safety? He said, yeah, man, we don't play freshman on varsity. So I lost it. So I immediately walked off. I called my dad, like, hey, Dad, I don't know if we want to stay here anymore, man. This is our hometown, I understand, but I got to go because they would not let me even get no snaps at quarterback or safety. And I'm like, that's odd because I just went to Ohio State and I just showed out. And, everybody know who I am in that city. So it's a lot of hate stuff going on. I don't know what it is, but, I had to do what I had to do. And I transferred to Huber Heights Wayne. And they took me in, and which the story is crazy because
how bad did that other high school coach feel? I'm sorry, I got to make that comment that they made a call that they didn't put you on the team, and you now go to another school and become a legend in the state. Come on,
it's crazy, man. Because everybody was so upset because they knew I was leaving and they didn't know where I was going. So it was like a press conference. It's the weirdest stuff ever, man. Honestly, because it's just like LeBron. When he went to South Beach. They were just waiting for my decision because I didn't come to no more workouts. I didn't show up for training or nothing like that. So like, what's going on with Braxton? Because I'm the guy in the city. So they're like, what's going on? So nobody even knew what was going on between me and the coach. That he told me that we don't play freshman or varsity. I said, you're out of your mind. So I really didn't care. My dad didn't care. So he said, hey, what you want to do? So Marcus Freeman that went to Ohio State, he went to Wayne. Mike Mickens, he went to Cincinnati. So the guys that I transferred to, they got scholarships.
Right.
So I was like, man, I go to Wayne. But the crazy thing is, the guy that I played basketball with, he grew up with me in Springfield, and his dad became the high school coach basketball at Wayne. So the hard shit for me was I'm still in it's a summer, but I'm going into my freshman year. So he got the offer to be the high school varsity coach basketball, which he was my coach in middle school. Don't forget, I was nice in basketball too. I was ranked in basketball too, but it's crazy how God works because he lived out on the north side. So, they had a little bit of money. They had insurance. He went to college and all that stuff, but he took care of me as his own son, took me in. So my dad worked out there on the north side at the wastewater plant. Going into my freshman year, I used to wake up at 6 a.m., get dropped off at his house on the north side, 7 a.m. They just now waking up in the morning, and they getting ready for school. I'm already up, ready, prepared, got breakfast in me, and I got to ride with them all the way to Huber Heights because we didn't have the funds to make to have a house in Huber Heights, so I had to ride with him.
Yeah,
I know I'm taking forever, but I had to ride with him to Huber Heights every morning. I want you to understand the struggles I had to go through them. It's like so difficult in adversity. It was like I could have quit back then, man, because like the only thing I really want to do was get a scholarship, man.
Well, actually, Braxton, you bring up a great point. I want to bring this up here. You've been facing challenges and adaptations since you were 5 years old, basically, all the way through. I mean, when people don't even have, and you had physical ability of a man as a boy's age.
Yeah.
So to us initially, when you hear of your story, which I think I want you to share now about Ohio State and the challenges that you had there, you've been facing hurdles of change and adjustment and weird stuff around you in the environments you've been in pretty much your whole life. So change and adaptation is kind of like part of your DNA. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely, man. It's just like, what I heard before is like the boat, man. You only sink when the water gets in. So you can be on the rough seas all you want. I'm on the rough seas the whole time, my whole life. But I didn't let the water get in and sink me. I didn't give up. I didn't quit. And that's the thing about me, that I never stopped. I wanted to get out of the situation I was in. I wanted to have my family secure for the rest of his life because, I was going to have kids, but I didn't want to live in Spring for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So having that helped me a lot. So like I said, you having a boat on the rough seas, man. As long as you don't let that water get in and sink you, man, you good. You're never gonna stop. I never stop. So that was my determination, man, to never quit and never get to that breaking point to quit, So So all right, long story short, I'm at Wayne. I get offered from Coach Stress freshman year. Everything's blown up. I got offered from Cincinnati playing basketball and football, full ride scholarship. So I had the most scholarships in as a freshman in the country. So I was like ranked number 1 player in the country to that point. So I was ranked in the state. Then I got to Wayne, start showcasing my talents as a freshman, playing varsity. They let me play varsity as a quarterback. Freshman of the year, ESPN magazine. I got all the stuff in my house. But yeah, man. So that point was just to show where I'm from. Like, yo, I mean, give kids chances, give people chances in life to understand, like, maybe they didn't understand my focus and they didn't, I don't know. Honestly, I really don't know what happened with that. But I played them. So we in the same conference. We played them, blew them out, and the rest was history. So
does that guy still have a job? Does that coach have a job?
Nah, they fired him, man. Everybody hated him.
So I want to do this because I want to be conscious of time for the day here.
Okay.
At Ohio State, you played quarterback. You started as at a freshman year, or when you got to Ohio State, right? You played freshman year.
Yep, started as a freshman. Yep.
How many other seasons did you play at quarterback?
I played 3 more seasons before I got hurt. 3 more seasons. Yep.
Question I want to ask, which I know other people have sent me messages of, when you got hurt, it's hard for people to understand when you get hit and you get literally your legs taken out from you, or you have an injury that changes your whole potential. Because obviously when you're at that level of the game, you're thinking about playing professionally.
Absolutely, yeah.
What was your mindset like when that happened to you? And how did you feel when you got hurt and you were not able to continue playing quarterback?
It was tough, man. What was the conversation like with Coach Meyer? So I got hurt. That was at the Senior Bowl. I got hurt, but I didn't know what it was. I played through the whole game. I thought I just had a bruised shoulder. Uh, Honestly, I had to pop like 6 Advils, ibuprofen, whatever it was, to finish the game. So I finished the game with a torn shoulder, not even know it was a torn. And we lost on the last 56 seconds of the game. And it's unbelievable, man, because I didn't know. It just showed me how, honestly, my dad was in the hospital during that game too, so I didn't want to stop. And, that's when he had his heart surgery. So he was in the hospital watching me on flat screen. Big screen, I still got the picture. So that what motivated me to keep going. And I said, man, just give me some medicine, man. My dad's watching. He's going through a hard shit that it don't even matter. It don't even compare to my shoulder. Like, he has open heart surgery and watch me recovering. And that what happened, man. And when it happened, I didn't stop. I kept going. I had a grit, man. I was so tough, man, built up from my childhood. That when it happened, I said, man, let's give me some medicine. Let's go. And we're going to win this game. Telling Coach Meyer, he said, you sure, man? I don't know if you really got a bruised shoulder. You might have a torn shoulder. That's what he told me. I said, it really don't matter. I'm good to go. That's what happened. I finished the game. After that, iced it up, thinking nothing of it. And when that happened, 2 weeks after the game, I woke up on my shoulder and was numb. I couldn't move it. So immediately I knew something was wrong. And I called Coach Meyer like 8 o'clock in the morning. I said, hey, Coach, I don't know what's going on with my right shoulder, but I think you're right. I think my shoulder is torn. I cannot move at all. So they had to come get me out of bed and help me out. And they had to give me an x-ray. So I had a torn labrum. So when that happened, I immediately said, they said it can heal on its own, but it's going to take longer. Or I can come back after 5 months to get surgery. As y'all guys know me, man, I said, let's come back in 5 months. Let's get surgery. I got another season to get to. And plus, I got a son, so in college, you don't make that much money. So I got to provide for my son, too. So I said, let's come back in 5 months. And that happened. I got the surgery, successful surgery. Anesthesia tore me up. So, yeah, I wanted to get to the NFL, man. So I took the 5 months, rehab, got the surgery. I'm back for throwing, spring workouts. I'm back full go, slinging it like I used to. Then the second week of camp, we started camp. And the second week of camp, it popped out. So I think they said I came back too early, which I can understand why. But that was probably the worst situation that ever happened in my life, man. The second time was the worst. First time was fine. Second time, I was yelling to the top of my lungs, and that's what happened. And that's why I came to realize I took a full year off, and I didn't want to come back and play. That's the first time I wanted to quit, but I couldn't quit because I had a 2-year-old son. So that's what happened. Coach Meyer was in my ear the whole time, helping me out. He bring me in as his own son. So took a 4 year off, man. I went to Drew Brees, rehab guy out in Alabama. I had classes online the whole time. It was crazy because that year I took off, man, it changed my whole life into where I'm at today. So the opportunity to be a wide receiver in the NFL and get paid at a high level, that was the whole end goal, and I made it happen. So that's probably the hardest situation I ever faced in my life. That was the hardest to get to that point, to keep going, and took a 4 year off of college football and come back on Monday night and hit that spin move, and that set me up for the rest of my life, the rest of my career. So that was it. That was it for me.
Braxton, a couple before I let everyone ask questions here, because I want to be conscious if everyone's got some thoughts.
Okay.
Making that transition, like the moment when you said, okay, I can't be quarterback anymore, but I still want to play and I want to get to the NFL, adapting and saying I could be a receiver, and not only be a receiver at the top college football program in the country, but also one that could eventually play in the NFL.
Yeah.
That in your brain, in your mind, where you said, you know what, if I'm going to do it, the one thing I can do is I could be a receiver. How did you adapt and say, this is the direction I want to go in?
So just being an athletic kid throughout my whole childhood, that's all I did is got the ball in my hands and just catch and run. I really wasn't like a real quarterback back then. I was just like an athletic guy that just knew how to throw a deep ball. But that's all I did my whole childhood. So, I thought, like, man, I still got legs, man. That's what I'm good at anyway. So, I got hands. So that's what I did. And Coach Meyer was a receiver coach back in Notre Dame. So I had to tell him, like, honestly, the rehab went great, 100% back normal, but I couldn't throw over 30 yards. So there's no point to playing quarterback. So I told Coach Meyer, like, hey, man, I got an idea. Let's change positions and you be my coach. And he just coached me. I told him, like, honestly, heart to heart, like, man, I need to get to the NFL, man. I need to provide for my son. And this is my dream. Coming out of Springfield, I'm the only one that went to the NFL. Yeah. So I want to make it happen. And I want to have a story, a legacy that's going to feed out to the generations behind me to understand, like, yo, y'all got to go through a hardship to get to where you at. Everything ain't easy, man. So that was it. He coached me to be who I am. And the rest was history, man. And that was the decision. Even though he was upset, we used to come in. I didn't want nobody to know at first, man, because I was kind of nervous. I was honestly nervous the first time in my life. I was nervous, like, to play receiver. And I told him, like, hey, coach, I'm online classes. Let's come in the morning while everybody's in class. Help me with receiver to get my fundamentals right. Then after, I ain't practice receiver at all. I ain't practice at all because I was so nervous, man. I was nervous first time in my life, nervous. And so I don't want to practice, man. I don't want nobody to see me to make that decision. I'm playing receiver. So after practice, after meetings, we stayed until like 12 o'clock for a whole month before the first game and helped me out receiver. Nobody even knew what was going on behind. They thought I was like done with football. Then I started practicing like 3 weeks before the game.
Yeah. Braxton, where would you be where you are today without all of the external motivations, the adversities you faced, having a son at a young age? You think that's what keeps pushing you forward?
Yes, sir. That's why I love where I came from, man, because it's nothing was given to me, man. Everything was earned. So I had to work. My son is blessed now. So, he's coming downstairs, just woke up.
but hold on. And you mentioned this earlier. I want to get this. You're not letting your son play football. Why are you not letting your son play football?
Just because he got different. I had to set the tone, man. I had to go through that to have kids coming behind me, different opportunities. I only had one opportunity to play sports. So that was the only thing for me to get out of the situation I had. He got, he got sports. I got businesses. He got real estate, entrepreneur stuff. He got everything he want to be. So I'm not forcing none on him.
Nope.
Even though he want to play tackle, but it's just smart my body's beat up, honestly. So I let him to play flag football, get the fundamentals, let him have fun. I was rough. He don't have a big older brother. I had an older brother, so I was rough. So he got different opportunities, man. So that's not the only opportunity he got to be successful in life, so yeah.
I want to ask this one question, then I'm going to open it up to everybody else. And that is, if you were to summarize, I guess, a lesson from all those adversities that you've had, and when you face challenges, what you do, what's the process that you go through, whether it's from the playing sports and the physical things you had to deal with, or in life and in business, how do you take your mind when a challenge hits you? What's that mindset that you kick through, or what's your action? What do you do? Okay, problem hits you. Boom. What does Braxton Miller do?
I'm going to sit back and I'm going to take my time to figure it out. Like, I'm the type of guy that's going to get the puzzle to the pieces. Even it might take weeks or months or a year, but I'm going to figure it out. I'm not the one that's going to be like, man, this is too hard, man. Like, I can't, it's taking too long. This is not going to happen. I'm the type of person like, let's get better. Every day I'm going to get better. And when a problem hit me, I'm going to figure it out, man. You know what I'm saying? What's the issue? What causing the problem? What can I do to get the problem better? What effort can I put in? Do I got to go sleep earlier? Do I got to wake up earlier to put the time in, to work in, to understand, like, to be successful than the next neighbor? I got to put in the time. Even though I like playing the game, I like watching Netflix, I got to go sleep earlier. You know what I mean? So I got to put things in place to, like, add up to the problem and figure it out, So I'm not, I don't ever give up, man. That's one thing. That's one of my sayings is nothing was given and I'm never going to stop. So
I like it.
That's what made me successful in business and sports, and as a father too.
Braxton, let me open this up to the rest of the audience here. Any other questions to to Braxton before our time wraps here with him. I want to open it up to folks. And now we're getting a chance to see the dog in action at Braxton's house. So the dog is up.
He just woke up with his PJs.
Oh, the sun is up. He's got a basketball game to get to. Anyone else, if you have any other questions, you can type it in the chat here, or you can put it out here before we let Braxton go.
Lou, yes, Braxton, thanks so much for joining our call today. It was really inspirational. Seems like when you're growing up all through high school and college, and certainly making that transition from going to quarterback to wide receiver, you had a lot of support mechanisms and a lot of people that had your back. And I also imagine that it's probably, seeing you go through of all that you went through and then making it to the NFL, and then your injuries sort of like took your dream away from you. It probably had to be very difficult and challenging for you. So how do you get through that process, and where do you see yourself going now? And in closing, I'm from Philadelphia. You may want to speak to Carson Wentz.
Hey, I was there, man. I love that organization. I love Doug Peterson. They just didn't give me a chance. They had their receivers there, so it was kind of like whatever. But the thing is, when I was there, I was working on my businesses to set me up farther the NFL money. So it was a learning experience and networking. It was a good experience. But for me to get to that point, man, it was I dreamed. Honestly, when I didn't say this when I was growing, but I had a big dream, man, and it was a big dream to make it where I'm at today. And I was manifestation at a young age, not even knowing I was manifesting what I'm doing now today. Now knowing that I'm spiritual than religion, I'm more spiritual and stuff. So I just kept the task at hand, man, and I dreamed big. And everything that I want to do, I did it every day. I trained, I worked out, and I want to be the best that I want to be. And that was a mindset, and that was the only thing that I really want to do. I want to get good grades. I got good grades and all that, but school wasn't really my focus. I wanted to be the best athlete in the nation. I want to be the best son, and I want to be the only guy to understand, like, I can make it happen, and that was the thing for me, and that was the motivation every day. And I had to be great, and it was my dream, man. So that's what it is. I had to challenge my growth every year. And I challenged it every year, and that was the thing that got me to where I'm at today. And I still challenge myself, even though it's kind of hard to, but I had to stay focused. That was it, man. That was it.
So one question here before we wrap, and then a funny story for you. Question is, who's the best athlete you played with, and who's the best defensive player you also played against?
Played against.
Yeah, so who's the best athlete you played with, and who's the best defensive player you played against?
The best athlete I played with was best athlete. Let me see. Who was so crazy?
Don't say yourself. That would just be too.
No, I ain't doing that, man. I say let's start with the defensive guy. I say the guy that I best played against was Javion Clowney.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh my God, that dude was.
He went to Clemson, and he's really fast, and he was a Texan. So yeah.
Yeah, man, it was just like, it was kind of like, when you see somebody that's on the same level as you, then you look at him like, damn, what? How can I figure this out? Like, the dude just asked me before the question, like, how can I figure it out? So honestly, bro, he didn't tackle me though. So that's the thing. So but that was
as good as he was, I was still better. Is what you're saying, Braxton. I like it. Your modesty is wonderful to witness to do right now.
It's just like Kobe Bryant. You got a mentality. You just had a mentality that couldn't be broken, man. That was me, and I had a championship mentality, man, and everything that I do. So even though he was ranked number 1 defensive player in the nation, I was like, all right, we're gonna see what's up. I'm the best in the nation too. Let's go. So. Best athlete, I think, was man, honestly, Zeke. Man, Zeke is off the chain, man.
Okay,
he's different. He played punt returner, kick return. He played everything. He played beside me. So, Zeke had the same mindset
That's
as
Ezekiel
me.
Elliott for the rest of the listeners who's now in the Cowboys.
Yeah,
That's
and I recruited him to come to Ohio State to play with me. So, you know, I took his dad wanted me to take him underneath his wing as my own little brother. So the same mentality that I had, it wore off on everybody else that was underneath me. And I was the leader of the squad. So he used to hang out with me every weekend. He had to figure it out because he wasn't playing as a freshman. And so I fed him the blueprint. So that was the best athlete for sure.
So Braxton, just to let you know that, there are other people that are thinking about you. Johnny here just went to the physical therapy this morning in Charlotte, North Carolina, and he walked in and there's a framed copy of Sports Illustrated with you on the cover hanging on the wall. Turns out you own a huge man.
Oh, wow. That's was it from college? Yeah.
We can find out later.
Where's that at? Where's that at again?
In Charlotte, North Carolina. So Johnny, hopefully your leg's feeling better or something.
I've never been out to Charlotte, North Carolina, but shout out to Charlotte, man.
There you go.
Johnny, hope your leg feeling better, brother.
Braxton, to wrap things up here, I think it's great to understand your approach to being coachable throughout your career, continuously improving the way your mind is, from what you overcome and how you try to solve a problem, to constantly reinvent yourself at the highest stage. Everyone here has given their virtual applause here for thank you for having here today.
Nice.
Thanks for being here, Braxton. This has been awesome. Thanks for taking the time.
You've been listening to Thrive Loud with your host, Lou Diamond. Head on over to Spotify, Good Pods, or wherever you get your podcasts, and subscribe and listen to all of our incredible episodes. Follow Lou at Thrive Loud everywhere on social media, and head on over to thriveloud.com to connect directly to Lou and learn how you and your business can thrive loud too. Thanks for listening.